Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a fascinating profile of an athlete who is completely redefining what it means to be an undeniable asset to a professional sport franchise. We are looking at the Indiana Fever's very own Sophie Cunningham. We're going to explore how she perfectly blends these gritty, on-court heroics with an unfiltered, highly marketable off-court brand. So if you want to understand exactly how a player becomes a true X factor for a championship-hungry team, well, you are definitely in the right place. Okay, let's dive into this, because you honestly can't understand Sophie Cunningham without first understanding her mindset. And Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White, she summed it up perfectly with this incredibly blunt, energetic assessment. That level of grit isn't just a casual compliment. It's literally the foundational identity of Cunningham's entire playing style. It is exactly what allows her to be the physical and emotional anchor for a team that is fighting tooth and nail for its place at the top of the league. Section 1. The ultimate bench spark. So we all know the Indiana Fever have a core of absolute superstars, right? You've got Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston. But to be a legitimate, terrifying threat in the WNBA, a team desperately needs a reliable fourth scoring option. They need that person who can come right off the bench, instantly flip the momentum, and just punish opposing defenses for focusing way too much on the starters. And that brings us to this massive number, 6. That is the number of three-pointers Cunningham drained in a single game against the Toronto Tempo. By tying her career high from beyond the arc, she helped propel the Fever to a staggering 113-91 victory. And get this, not only was it a dominant win that extended their home winning streak, but that 113-point total actually set a franchise record for points in regulation. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the sheer jump in production when her team needed it most. We're juxtaposing her explosive season-high performance directly against her standard bench averages. Going into that game, she was averaging a very solid 8.9 points per game on nearly 48% shooting. Good numbers, right? But then she erupts for 24 points off the bench. It just shows that she isn't just your standard role player. She has this switch she can flip to take over a game entirely. And, this wasn't just a single random hot night either. Her shooting streak actually started the game prior against the Connecticut Sun, where she dropped 11 points in just the final 2 minutes. Across those 2 games, Cunningham made 7 consecutive three-pointers. To put that into perspective for you, the all-time WNBA record, which was set by Alex Bentley back in 2013, is 10. Cunningham was agonizingly close to making league history. Section 2. Shooting through the pain. To fully appreciate this incredible scoring explosion, we need to pivot the narrative just a bit and look at the physical adversity she was dealing with behind the scenes. Elite athletic resilience is a huge part of the Cunningham story, and she was actually playing through a significant hurdle during this record-setting run. Right before this hot streak, she had to miss a game due to right elbow soreness. To speed up her recovery, she received a PRP, or platelet-rich plasma, injection. When she came back and instantly started draining threes from literally all over the floor, the transformation was so stark that her teammate Caitlin Clark joked she must have gotten a robotic upgrade, famously calling it a brand new elbow. Section 3. The business of basketball. Injuries, as we know, are a total double-edged sword, and that brings us to the off-season realities. While she bounced back quickly from the elbow issue, an older, much more severe injury played a major role in her free agency and contract negotiations. It's a great reminder that professional sports are always a business first, and this brilliantly illustrates the quirky, uniquely human side of those business dealings. She signed a 1-year deal worth $665,000 to return to the Fever. Obviously, that's a highly impressive monetary figure, but on social media, she had to clarify that she wasn't mad about the money itself. She hilariously explained that she was just hoping for a longer-term deal so she could finally buy the house in Indy and move her dog and her donkey out there with her. It's exactly this kind of relatable transparency that makes fans absolutely love her. But there was definitely some real frustration beneath those jokes. Cunningham was recovering from a major MCL knee injury during the offseason. Because of that, she couldn't get in front of teams to showcase her skills and prove she was healthy. She admitted on her podcast that while she really wanted a multi-year deal, this whole situation served as a massive wake-up call. It ultimately motivated her, acting as the primary fuel for the career-high performances we're seeing on the court right now. Section 4. An unfiltered voice. This unapologetic drive leads us perfectly into her off-court media presence.
Sophie Cunningham isn't just a basketball player. She's an incredibly engaging personality. She actually co-hosts an award-nominated podcast called Show Me Something alongside Wes Wilson. And if you want to know why she is such a massive fan favorite outside the arena, just look at this wild variety of topics from a single episode. I mean, they cover everything from the MLB's Edwin Diaz being linked to an illegal cockfighting ring to Bumble removing their swipe feature for an AI matchmaker. They even discuss these crazy stories of internet scammers impersonating her to solicit $30,000 wire transfers from elderly fans, which literally prompted the FBI to get involved. It's raw, it's hilarious, and it is totally unfiltered. She also uses the platform for some absolutely fantastic self-deprecation. During a recent game, she actually got a clean defensive block down low, which is something she openly admits she almost never does. On the podcast, she joked that she's not a shot blocker, she's a shot hacker, meaning she's usually known for just fouling the opponent hard before they can even get the ball up. It made her celebration of that rare, clean block on the fast break even funnier to watch. But listen, she also brings some seriously high-level basketball analysis to her listeners. Despite her super aggressive play style, she offered this mature, slightly contrarian take. Refs are doing a good job this year. She explained that while a tight whistle early in the season can be super frustrating, it actually builds consistency. It forces players to clean up their physical play so that by the time the playoffs roll around, the game flows much better. This really matters because it proves she has a deep analytical understanding of the game's rhythm, showcasing a really high basketball IQ right beneath that gritty exterior.
Section 5. Protecting the home court. This deep connection with the fans through her podcast loops right back around to her marketability. Cunningham understands that her personality and her performance are totally intertwined, and she uses both to drive a very specific mission, making the Fever's home arena an absolute fortress. And her brand translates directly to business. Notice the sizing details here for her $40 Nike Explorer t-shirt. It features this cool navy design, giving a nod to Lady Victory. It runs from small all the way up to 3XL, and those largest sizes, they are already completely sold out. Her unique brand and aggressive playstyle are driving some serious retail business for the team. And people want to know everything about how she operates, right down to her diet. On her podcast, she casually dropped this intense, carb-conscious lunch order: a medium-rare steak, 3 eggs, bell peppers, and sautéed kale. It's a surprising but highly relatable detail that shows exactly how an elite athlete fuels her body to maintain that non-stop, wild energy she brings off the bench. So the crucial point is this: Cunningham is actively trying to weaponize the fans. She stated point blank that she wants Gainbridge Fieldhouse to be one of the hardest places to play in the entire league. She knows that if she brings the grit and the crowd feeds off her energy, it creates an intimidating environment that gives the Fever a massive, massive competitive advantage. Which leaves us with this final thought. She has her brand new elbow, she's sinking threes at a record pace, and a frustrating offseason has given her a massive chip on her shoulder. When you combine that fired-up attitude with an undeniable connection to the home crowd, how much further can Sophie Cunningham push the Indiana Fever toward their championship ambitions? It's going to be absolutely thrilling to watch. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.